Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Intuitive Insights in Tarot. I'm Scott. Let me see, I want to do something here real quick before I start. Still trying to figure this out because, okay, well, let me, and I've got Cherie helping me out on the line. Hi Cherie, how are you?
Doing good tonight, Scott. Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing really good, and I want to make an adjustment here on this. Hold on a second. So you've got, I think I hear your video on over there. Is that you or is it me?
No, shouldn't be me. I've got my other phone muted, so I don't have any echo.
I hear it. Yeah, oh, I think I know what it was. I got it.
Okay.
That was me. Uh, Give me a second here because I want to switch over to, let's see here. How do I do this?
Melissa says hi, Scott.
Hi. Yeah, so if you can read the chat, look at, okay. I'm actually right now I'm going to switch it over to members only chat just for a little bit, okay, because I'm going to chat for a little bit before I start doing readings, and I don't want to get too distracted or too many questions in there. Bring this back up. So you had a busy weekend, huh?
Yeah, it was a long 40 hours, but I got it done.
Yeah, and
How about,
for 40 if you worked 40 hours in the weekend over the
yeah,
weekend?
I started Friday at 4 p.m. and got off yesterday at 8 a.m. Oh no, today's Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought,
yeah, over there it is. Hold on a second. I'm got to turn down the volume on this now. Where is it? There it is. Okay, got that turned off. All right, so I can, yeah, the members chat. So, hi, Lucy. And so, what am I doing? And why am I wearing this hat? This is because I want to talk about something real quick. I said it before, I've got lucky hats, and I want to talk about this. To me, and this is maybe to help everybody, because it's like how the universe speaks to me, and maybe how you can learn to listen to how the universe speaks to you. So, this is the oldest hat I've ever had. I bought this hat around 2006 when I first came to Thailand. I came to Thailand in 2004, and at some point, I got an email or something about getting a free astrology reading. And I'm like, okay, let me do this and see what it says. And one of the things that it said that I should do to be successful was to have some type of recognizable gimmick. I don't know if gimmick's the right word, but some kind of something that would make me stand apart from other people. And I always love these beret caps. That's what they're called, beret caps. And I thought, okay, this is going to be my signature look, right? The beret caps. And I went out to the mall and I bought a couple, and this was one of the ones that I bought. And it's actually my very first picture on Facebook. I'm wearing this hat, just like this. And that first couple years in Thailand was really great for me. So it became like my lucky hat. Plus, it's the most comfortable hat I have, and I still just even all my other hats. I love this hat. I don't wear it now because it's old and tattered, and I use it for my motorcycle, like to cover my head for my helmet. But this isn't really the one that was the sign from the universe. I was applying for a job at a very prestigious um, private school in Chiang Mai, up in northern Thailand, and I was brand new teacher. I had zero confidence in myself, and I had a lot of things stacked against me because I didn't have a degree, and I was so new. And so I was on a bus going to Laos to renew my visa, and I had this application in, and I'm just praying and crossing my fingers that I get a call back from them. And I didn't have a hat. I had lost it, or for some reason I had no hat. And on the bus ride home, I see this cap, a baseball cap, that was up on like the shelf above the seats. Somebody had forgotten. And I took a look at it. And it was like pristine. And it was really cool looking. And I said, you know what? I'm going to keep this hat. And so I just put it on my head. I wasn't worried about anything. I just don't worry about this. So I put it on my head, and just as I put the hat on, I got a phone call, and it was that school telling me that I got the job. And this was really a life-changing event for me. And so I said, okay, this is my lucky hat. And unfortunately, I lost that hat, but for a long time, I kept that hat. It was my lucky hat. Ended up losing that job, by the way, because of some BS that followed me there. Um, but then fast forward to 2017 when I had to leave Thailand for 1 year because of a visa issue. My visa got canceled for 1 year, and I was in Laos, and I was really hopeless. I didn't have a job. I didn't have money. I was just wandering around the country trying to find work, and I didn't realize Laos was really not a good place for English teachers to make money. And as I was walking around town, I, I was on this embankment on a road, and down in a parking lot that you couldn't see from the road if you were in a car or a motorcycle was this hat. Right? It's a North Face hat, and it's a really nice hat, or at least it was. I wore it for a whole year, and you can see how worn it is now. It was this one was also was like brand new when I found it. And I thought, like, hey, this is a sign from the universe. Everything's going to be all right. I got another lucky hat. So, it's like that other lucky hat. And sure enough, right after I found this hat, I found a job and things started going good for me. Right. And so that was a sign from the universe, this hat. And by the way, it's North Face. I'm a hiker, hike the Appalachian Trail. It's got this cool ripstop material. So that's why I really took it. It spoke to me. It hit these key things that to me were important. That's how I knew it was a sign from the universe. Okay. Now, fast forward again, 2020, when I decided that I was going to try to make a living reading tarot cards. And so I looked around for a bookstore that carried tarot cards. I found one about 20 minutes away in a mall in another town. So I got on my motorcycle and I rode up to that mall, and I was riding around the back of the mall looking for a place to park my motorcycle when I saw in like a loading bay up on some stairs another hat. And that's this hat. This is what I call my Alliance hat because it's got the A on it. And I looked in the tag, it's like an Abercrombie and Finch. And I'm not into brand names, but when I looked it up, this is like a $50 hat. And at the same time, I bought my first deck of tarot cards. And shortly after that, got my YouTube channel monetized. And so this became my new lucky hat. And ironically, it's a white hat with a nail on it. So it's my alliance hat. So this is to me, this is the universe speaking to me, and this is how I knew I was going to be successful too as a tarot card reader. That, and also I'd done a reading for myself that said I would, and then with a little help from Tarot by Janine, that's why I'm sitting here today, and you guys are listening to me. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that story. Cherie, do you have anything like that happen to you? You get these guides from the universe?
Feathers. I get feathers.
Feathers. Oh, right.
Yeah, signs from the angels. And whenever something's going on and I have a question, I'll usually get a feather. And then not long after that, things will work out for me. So they're just letting me know that they're around, they're listening, and they send me feathers.
Oh, hi, Joy King. Welcome on board to the members. And so, th- and this brings me to the next thing I want to do today. Before I let me see, I wanted to check. I don't see it here. How many people are in the chat right now? So I'm just kind of killing some time until
And it
I don't
says
see it.
45.
Oh, 45? Wow,
Uh-huh.
that's a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then let me get into it because this is something I want to do. And if you guys read the description, um, I want to find out what's going on with this Scott Peterson case, what the universe will tell us, because I thought for sure he was guilty. But before I do that, before I get into that little fun thing, well, listen, I realize it's very serious. It was a very serious case, and it's not fun, but you understand what I mean, right?
Yes.
It's a break from the movie, the politics and all the woo woo crazy stuff going on. But before I do that, Sheree, you can help me out here. Uh,
Yep.
who from the members is on right now? I'm going to give everybody a quick mini reading.
Oh, we have Betty, Billy.
Betty,
We have,
okay,
yeah.
Betty's first. Okay, let me start with Betty,
Okay.
and let me see. Betty is a 5D intuitive. Say that's a four cards. And I hope you guys like this little perk that I'm giving you here for the members. I'll turn on the full chat for everybody later on, but right now I'm just doing this. Okay, so and this is like for the week, Betty. What kind of challenges could you face this week, and what kind of advice can you get from the cards on it? Let me tip my camera down. Say good morning, Sandy, everybody. Sandy, say good morning. Let's see. Just a little better like that. Okay, Betty, this is for you. What kind of challenges are you going to face this week? First card will be the situation. King of Pentacles. Okay, so Pentacles are about your regular working, your like your day-to-day job, or it could be about your money, stuff like that. And it's a king, so maybe a man. Oh, actually, with this could be talking about a father or a husband or any man in your life that's very important to you, and his work. Uh, yeah. Oh, wow. And it looks like he's going to get a promotion or something like that. So here he's going from king to emperor. So if there's a man in your life who's having trouble at work, or maybe you're looking for a raise or something like that, then that could be coming. If not, then if this is your boss, then maybe you're going to get some type of increase of pay or recognition for work that you've done. Um, and if it's not any of those, then I'm not sure what it is. I'd have to ask you some questions to zero in on it. Okay. And Colleen, let's do one for you real quick. Let's see. Where's Colleen on here? Oh no, Colleen. Oh, it's not Colleen. I'm sorry. Cherie, I'm going to save yours for later if you don't mind.
That's fine. No problem.
Okay, Mike. Oh, Mike has had a dream, and I'm going to do a reading on that. Actually, I got to do a 7 card reading on that because Mike bought me a coffee for this.
Okay.
So Mike had a dream about 3 bobcats. And hold on, Mike, I want to look at your email real quick. So this is something new I'm trying here. So I hope I'm not like boring people out there with this, but bear with me. I'm gonna get to your questions, and I'm gonna take a look at this Scott Peterson thing. Okay, so he said he had a very cool, very vivid dream. And when you have these dreams like that are really vivid and they feel palpable, those usually mean something. 3 beautiful bobcats outside of his garage corner waiting for him. Says he was able to zoom in and see their ears and colors. Does this have any meaning? Okay, so let me do a quick spread on that one for Mike. Okay, Mike. Oh, this really freaks me out because when I first read your email, Mike, the first thing I thought of was this card, the 3 bobcats, and I don't know why, I immediately thought of these three, the cup of 3 of cups. So this is a celebration. You're being celebrated for something. And let's see if I can figure this out. Maybe you've yep. So Mike, you have successfully, absolutely, with the high priestess here, you have successfully integrated one of your shadow selves and you've leveled up. Holy cow, I just got goose chills all over my body. The world and temperance. Holy moly, Mike. So, right, you had a shadow self who may have been one of your darker iterations, okay? Because we all have a mixture of good and light, just like you see the black and white of the high priestess here, and the moon is it, those the darker things that are hidden from people, and temperance is integration, and the world is new beginnings, and the 4 of wands it is a portal and a graduation, a leveling up. So on the astral plane, you have successfully integrated one of these darker aspects of your one of your alternate selves, and this is something to really celebrate. Um, so wow, that's wild, huh, Cherie?
That is great.
No, I mean
That is,
somebody just go ahead.
no, that's all right. Go ahead.
No, somebody just sent me something about how this latest solar cycle is leveling up people. And I've been predicting cards lately for about the past 6 months. And it's not so much a prediction as like when you mentioned those three Bobcats, that was what I thought of. Okay, Michael, and
That,
now Lucy, I'm gonna do one for you. What was that, Sheree?
yeah, ever since the eclipse and everything, things have really rushed forward. It's like we're on fast forward.
That's right. That's right. That the eclipse was a big one. The Lionsgate, the last full moon, or the Lionsgate was a big one, and the last full moon. Um,
Yeah. I didn't get to
so,
see the full moon. We were cloudy.
but you still got the energy from it.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I still went outside in the rain. Yeah, I did.
um, I'm wondering from my members in the chat right now, has anybody else been getting any types of like heightened senses or intuition, really? And that's what we are. We're all intuitives here. If,
All I know is this retrograde is just got me all out of whack. So,
yeah,
oh yeah.
um, I think I'm kind of recovering from. I actually took last week off. I didn't do anything last week. I think because of that too. And I was still recovering from that cold I have had. But last night I felt something shift. All of a sudden, before bedtime, I suddenly got this huge like burst of energy. Okay, Lucy, this one's for you, and then Lady T, and then I'm going to open up the chat and get into the this crazy story about Scott Peterson. Could he actually be innocent? So, but first, this is for you, Lucy. This is for your week. Four of Pentacles. Oh, King of Pentacles. Two of Wands. So, Lucy, I think you know what this is about because we have this Two of Wands before, which came up with this man that you are um, in communications with about maybe starting something new. The one who before Honey said he may have had he may be hiding some thoughts that he has or something. Like I said, I don't think I don't think it was something really nefarious that he's hiding. He's got some doubts, maybe about himself. But have you been? And Lucy, I'm going to be meeting you in a couple of days. We can talk about this more. But it looks like he is in the cards. He's coming up in the cards here again. You're definitely meant to be doing something with him. Okay, as far as like um, building something for the future, and I'm not sure what it was he was doing. You were doing with him, like if it was a humanitarian project or something to do with helping people with their ascension, something like that. Um, does he need money? Is he asking you for money? But like once again, Lucy, we'll talk about this later. Um, but there's something going on with that gentleman here again in the cards. You're being the universe is telling you to pay attention to your own intuition, your own higher self. Okay, like even things that I may tell you or what Honey may tell you, those are you can pay attention to those things, but what's more important is that you pay attention to your own higher self and your own intuition. That trumps literally anything that a tarot card reader or a psychic can tell you. Okay, so I'm gonna hold off on the personal readings for the members there and get into this story about oh um yeah, sorry, got distracted there. I want to look at this story about Scott Peterson. And now Cherie and I were just talking about this real little bit shortly before we came on. And okay, let me back up. Last week, a new documentary came out about Scott Peterson. And one of my favorite things to do in my free time is watch true crime documentaries, especially mysteries. Um, I find that stuff fascinating, and even though this story was 20 years old and it really didn't seem to be anything new about it, I had nothing else to watch, so I clicked on. I think it's a Netflix series about Scott Peterson, and it really was pretty boring, to be honest with you. But I had nothing else to do. It was only 3 episodes, so I watched the three. And you get to the end of that series, the one on Netflix, and you're just still convinced, like we were 20 years ago. Oh, forgot Lady T. Thank you, honey. I mean, late Lucy. All right, let me interrupt the Scott Peterson thing and do Lady T real quick. Sorry, I'll come back and recap that what I was talking about for. But this I got to do. Late. I've got to do Lady T's. Okay. Thanks for reminding me, Lucy, and thanks for the sticker. Super pair, whatever that is. Okay, Lady T, this is for your week ahead. What kind of challenges should you face? Once again, it's about work or money or family at home, the people you live with that are in your house. Wow, and so it's definitely about your family, your immediate family, people that you live with. Okay,
So,
I'm pretty sure, huh?
while you're doing Lady T, I'm gonna make myself a glass of tea. I'll be right back.
Okay, you get a glass of tea while I'm reading Lady T.
Okay.
So, Robin, it looks like maybe somebody in your family isn't being completely honest with you about some money. Maybe they borrowed money from you without telling you, or they owe you money or something like that. Um, but whatever it is, it was for a good reason. Okay, it wasn't. They're not stealing from you. And if it's not about money, it could be something as simple as your sister. I know you have a sister. Maybe she borrowed something from you that she didn't tell you about, but she plans on replacing it or giving it back. And if it's not any of those things, then once again, like I said, if you were here, I could talk to you and figure out what these cards are trying to tell me. That's the thing about doing readings like this. They could go in a lot of different directions, and without being able to get direct input, it's hard for me to figure it out. Okay, so whatever the situation is, it's going to be for the greater good. I can tell you that. Even if it's something, it may be even something that you don't know about because of that Seven of Swords. It may be something that's being kept from you. All right. Are you back, Cherie?
Yep, I'm back.
Okay. So let me get back to what I was talking about. So, like I said, I told you I found this pretty boring. Your mother? Okay. All right. Well, it'll be okay. All right. She'll take care of it. Um, so yeah, it was a pretty boring series, and I when I finished it, I was more convinced than ever that this guy Scott Peterson took his wife off the planet, and the worst part about it was she was pregnant. You guys all remember the story. Uh, his son Connor, they found Laci or part of her body washed up in San Francisco Bay, and then his unborn child Connor, and it was just terrible. And everybody cheered when he got the death penalty, even though later on they uh, they commuted it to life. By the way, I am against the death penalty, always have been, except maybe in very extreme cases where you have just absolutely no doubt. And it's exactly because of cases like this. This is why I'm against the death penalty. I don't think that a state should be taking somebody's life ever, right? Because that can always be used against the people. Oh, let me turn on the open chat for everybody. Right? Give me a minute to figure out how to do that. And while I'm doing this, Sheree, what we tell the people what you were telling me just before I came on.
Well, even at the beginning with Scott's case, I did not feel that he did it. It's
Really?
kind of like it's kind of like when I was in school, sitting in class watching the moon landing, and everybody's going, "Oh, we're on the moon, we're on the moon," and isn't it great? And I looked at my teacher and said, "We're not there." You know, and it's like with JFK Jr. when his plane went down, I said, "He's not on it." So these things just kind of drop on me, just kind of like the Lord dropping a brick on my head, going, "Wake up." It's not real.
Wow, Sheree, I didn't realize you were so intuitive
And
because
more
that
so
is,
in my younger age.
well, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it's going to be coming back even more. Because that what you just described like was very intuitive because for me, that whole Scott Peterson thing, I thought for sure he'd done it, right? Okay, now, last night, and this is why I'm talking about this today. Last night on Peacock, the Peacock channel, there's another documentary out. And this is a woman who's a investigative, well, she's a documentary filmmaker and author, journalist. And she started, well, she thought that maybe, he wasn't guilty. And there's something called the Innocence Project, the LA Innocence Project,
Mm-hmm.
and they take on cases that they think have a very good chance of being overturned. So when this group gets involved in something, you know that there's got to be more to it. So she put out her documentary that I watched last night. Now this made me realize why they put out the one on Netflix. They wanted to get ahead of it, right? Because the the state convicted him, the cops convicted him. They're like they're sure they got their man. And then they got wind of this exculpatory evidence that was coming out, and I just like saying that word. And this series that was coming out that was gonna have us all questioning it. So they got ahead of it to like get it into our minds that they really want us to believe that the state got it right and this guy is guilty. Because this series is another three-part series. The first two pretty much tell you everything that the other one did and leaves you thinking he did it. The last episode in that series, there's all this other evidence that was withheld from the jury, that was withheld from the defense. Um, Scott for 20 years has proclaimed his innocence. In all these other shows I watch, usually when the guys are caught, at some point they fess up, you know. because the guilt, they just can't handle the guilt anymore. They're in prison anyway, so they might as well admit it, you tell what
Uh-huh.
happened. Scott never did that. His family, his mother and father and sisters, and they all supported him throughout the whole thing. In fact, his mother went back to school and got a law degree to try to understand the case a little better. So by the end of that Peacock series, I was scratching my head. I'm like, holy shit. Could it be this man got sent to prison and he's innocent? And by the way, that's like my biggest nightmare. I must have been um, unjustly convicted of something in another life or something, because this is something that gets me more than almost anything else. It's when innocent people are jailed or put to death. I don't know why it bothers me so much.
Injustice.
Yeah, and it's why in this life, when I was born into this life, I was born a Libra, the sign of justice.
Yep.
And I always want to be fair. I always want to do what's fair. Sometimes, like when I make a mistake and I do something to make it right, like when I gave away the two free readings because I messed up, and somebody, I think you said, "Oh, that's really sweet of you." No, it's not sweet of me. It's fair. I'm just being fair, you know.
But a lot of people aren't. A lot of people don't think that way, unfortunately.
Yep. And life's unfair. The world is unfair.
That's what I
So
always told my kids.
so I don't want to spend too much time. I was already 10 minutes into this because I do want to get to the to your questions in the audience. But first, I'm gonna do a very general, like, what happened to Laci. So they think that there were these burglars. And by the way, there's no such thing as coincidences, especially in something like a murder case. There was a burglary right next door to the Laci house, to the Peterson house, and the timing on that got all confused, and the police tried to cover it up, but it looks like it was going on at the same time. It looks like she interrupted a burglary. There were witnesses saying that they saw a pregnant woman being forced into a van that matched her description. So that's who they think did it. Um, some people that were involved in this burglary that was happening next door. So I'm going to ask the cards, what happened to Laci on that day? It was Christmas Eve of 2004. What happened to Laci Peterson? If the universe can give us an answer. King of Wands. See, I immediately get the feeling that this is Scott. In fact,
Okay.
I know it is. Scott was a salesman. Wands are the part of like a social class that would be somebody like a salesman. Four of Cups, Seven of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Now this is the important one here. It's a child, son. Hierophant. Okay, so I think this is telling us where she is now, in that she's in the hereafter, where we got the baby here. This is Connor, can never suffer again. It's heaven, if you want to call it heaven. But I think what it's telling us here is that the police, they were so focused on Scott, okay, and you'll see this in the series. They didn't look for anybody else, and
No,
it
that's what
this
I
is
said at the
something that,
time.
go ahead,
Yeah,
say that again, Cherie.
that's what I said at the time too, is they're not looking for anybody else.
That's right. These powers that be, they want this was huge in the news, and they needed to wrap it up and get it over with. So they ignored this other information that was coming in. Now I realize I asked what happened to Laci, but this is what happens sometimes. I just have to answer the way the cards are telling me to answer. In fact,
Hmm.
I'm not gonna do any more readings on this because I predicted yesterday that this card would represent Scott. He was a good guy. Now, he had a hard time showing emotions, and not everybody's the same. Like when these things happen, and we say, "Oh, he doesn't look like he's remorseful," but everybody's different, you know.
Everybody,
Uh,
everybody handles shock and grief differently.
right, right. And he was also angry because they were looking at him and not looking at other people. So he had to control his emotions because the one emotion he had was anger, and if he let that out, that would be even worse, you know.
Exactly.
And I believe that this is a yes to Cherie's intuition and to now my putting the facts together and looking at both documentaries, the one that's trying to convict him or maintain his guilt, and this one that's trying to exonerate him. And if this is true, and I think it is, this is the part about being a truther. When you're a truther, you've got to be able to accept when you got it wrong. And before I saw this other video, I could hold two ideas at the same time. One that he could be guilty and one that he could be innocent until, you know, um, the truth came out. And I can tell you now, based on these cards, Scott Peterson did not do that to his wife and an unborn son. And
Well,
that breaks.
we'll send up lots of prayers for him that the truth comes out.
He's lost 20 years of his life, Cherie.
I know
Not to
it.
mention his wife and his child, you know?
And he didn't get to go to the funeral either. Frank
Here,
just sent me a text real quick saying that he's not able to join the chat.
right.
He says
Oh, did I not? Okay, I thought I opened it up. Let me let me do that again. I thought I and let me I don't want to exclude anybody. Like I said, I had it set to members just to start off, but I want it to be for everybody now. What are you seeing in the chat?
well, it says members only mode is off. Everybody can chat now. Live
Okay.
community mode is on. Only viewers selected by the channel owner can send messages.
No,
But Frank,
live community approved. So Frank, you probably just have to turn it off and get out and come back, maybe. Okay. All right. Anything else in the chat that I need to know about?
um,
Yeah, I think
I don't see
mine's the same way.
Banner.
I got to refresh mine too. Yeah, so refresh your screen and let's see. Live community mode is on. Live commentary mode. All right. I don't see anybody in the chat. Everybody give me a say hello in the chat real quick. Is it working, Sheree?
Well, nobody's saying anything. Susanna Burrows came on, the other mod. She came on all right, but I'm not seeing anybody else's. And it says we have 75 people here in the chat, so
Hmm.
we ought to be getting some kind of
Hmm.
flow.
Bear with me, guys, if you're watching this. I'm learning this something new here. Let me go back and check it again because I thought it looked
Frank
okay.
said that he Frank said that it came up that he was banned, and I know we haven't banned Frank.
No. Well, he wouldn't be able to tell you. Oh, where? How? What did he email you or something or Telegram?
Yeah, he texted me on my phone.
Yeah, I keep getting a bunch of messages on my phone. Maybe that's what that was about. No, Frank, you are not banned unless one of my mods have gone rogue.
Wasn't me.
Oh, I know. Listen, there's only let's see.
Frank says he tried, but no dice. Oh well, I'll catch up with Scott another time. Love, light, peace, Frank.
Yeah, but I
Huh.
got to figure out what's going on here, Frank. If
Well, Stacy said something. She said,
oh,
"Hi, Scott.
Stacy,
Samia paid for a question, but I'm not seeing anybody else."
drivers, anyone, live community. Oh, you know what? Maybe I didn't. Oh, all right. I think I fixed it. Sorry, guys. Now you should start seeing the chat come up. Everybody say hi in the chat.
Oh, there's Yanka. She said
Is it working
hello.
now?
Rachel was
Okay.
talking. Yep.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. 60-year-old novice here, figuring it out. Hi, Betty, Lucy, Shelley, Saima. Tell Frank to come back.
Okay, I'll let him know.
We got it figured out. Nobody was banned. Thanks. Is Stacy Moore there?
Yep, Stacy's there.
Hi, Stacy. Thanks, everybody. Okay. All right. Got that figured out. I think I just didn't hit the save button after I changed it. And I want to see, I've been getting a bunch of messages, probably from Frank. Yeah, well, everybody was trying to tell me that the chat wasn't working. Sorry about that, guys. I got it figured out. See, Betty sent me some coffees. Let me see what Betty wants to say.
Yeah, everybody's saying hi now. We got you
Yeah,
guys.
it was
Hi,
that.
Alyssa. Glad to see you.
Oh, do you see if I'm ascending okay? If you ask the question, then yes, you are. But sure, I'll pull cards for you, Betty. And this is one of those things that I kind of chuckle when I read a question like that. I'm not laughing at you, but it's just funny because it reminds me of this book I read a long time ago when the character in the book went up to a sphinx, and sphinxes are supposed to answer any question you ask. You can ask three questions, and they give you an answer. And the character in the book asks the sphinx, "Do I have a soul?" Something like that, or something like that. Do I have a soul? Or it could be like this: Am I ascending? Or how's my ascension going? And if you're asking the question, that means that yes, you do have a soul, or yes, you are ascending because you're aware enough to be asking the question. Uh, but was that was Betty, right? Betty, let me see if I can give you any insight into your ascension process. Yeah, Betty Philly. Philly, that means love. Did you know that?
Oh, that's neat.
Okay, this is for you, Betty. And by the way, Jeff, I've got something special for you if you're watching. Jeff, okay, well, Queen of Wands, right away, you're starting off right there, Betty. Your much higher up in ascension than what you think you are. Okay. If you're asking, and there's a yes of wands that's screaming at you. You're doing just fine. Okay. In fact, in the recent past, you've been accelerating like all of us have in this and since that eclipse and Heaven's Gate, Fool there. Um, look at these cards coming up for you, Betty. Celebration, a huge yes to spiritual ascension, connecting with your higher self, the lovers, um, having this. Well, you have to trust in your guides, your spirit guides. Trust that the universe is putting every stone before your foot before you step, even though you're not looking. So the way he's stepping off into the void here, but you can't see it, but there's another stone that's there that's going to catch him so he doesn't fall. That's how the universe takes care of us. And instead of asking these questions, celebrate that you are on the path to ascension. And I mean, it's okay to
Betty,
ask the question, but you got to know that if you're here, if you're following shows like this and Honey, you we're all ascending, all of us. Okay,
well,
we're just different. Go ahead.
Betty said that she's asked because she used her pendulum and it said I wasn't going to make it through the solar flash. So that's why she was asking.
Yeah, okay, but that may be something different from ascension. Okay, maybe you're not going to ascend in your body. Maybe that's what that means, right? But it doesn't mean you're not ascending. And
Right.
you know, it's people still have this fear of death, which is understandable. But it, whether you ascend in your body or in your astral form, it's okay. I mean, these bodies they're just vessels that are temporarily holding a facet of your soul, right? They're not really that important.
Exactly.
Okay.
Stacy Martin wanted to remind me that Siam Malik paid a question super chat. Once she wants to open a healing center, will it be
Oh,
successful running?
right. I remember that. Let me open up my
Thank you,
chat again.
Stacy.
Yeah. Thanks, Stacy. I want to be able to look at the chat myself and I want to go and read it for myself. Oh, I guess when I reset the chat, it got lost because I don't see it there now. Do you see that question, Sheree?
Yeah, she asked.
Just reread it
Uh,
again, okay, so I can hear verbatim exactly what she says.
she wants to open a healing center. Will it be successful running it?
Okay. Yeah, by the way, guys, I believe it should be a link for Stacy's website where she does Reiki healing. If it's not there, I apologize. I will get it in there after the show. Just to make sure, Stacy, can you send me that again in Telegram, just in case it's not there, so I don't have to go search for it. Or you can post it in the comments too, Stacy. Okay, so this is for Stacy's Healing Center. Let's see how she's going to do with that. Any advice for that? Sorry for the chaotic nature of this show today, everybody. It's that's why I got Cherie here to help me keep things online. So right away, pages are yes, but yes, with a caveat. Okay. It's it's going to require a great deal of planning. This is something, Stacy, I think you know this, that it's your purpose uh, in this world. Okay, it's why you came into this world is to be doing the healing, not the 3D job that you used to do. And there's a yes is the outcome. Okay, so there's a lot of planning that needs to be done that probably hasn't been done yet. But absolutely, Stacy, you're going to be successful. There's judgment. Um, this is like the Great Awakening. So, and this is good. You're going to be getting financial help, well, we all are, but probably for you specifically, so you don't have to dip into your own money. Probably there's the Alliance has money set aside for things like this. So definitely, Stacy, there's no doubt you're going to be uh, very integral in uh, starting the center. And this is an alternative, by the way, to the doctors and the medical system we have today. It's going to be something totally different from that, of course. You're not a doctor or a nurse or anything. So, yes, Stacy, you can rest assured, absolutely, you're going to be an integral part of a healing center. Maybe you can put your name on it, right?
That's great. We're going to need lots of those.
Okay.
All right.
Joy,
So,
buy me a coffee or super chat. That's okay, Joy. You don't have to. You can ask me a question. Okay, Joy, don't worry. If you don't, it's not mandatory. You guys pay for especially past clients like Joy. Joy's up there in Washington or Oregon. You still on the ship, Joy? How you doing with those guys that were bugging you there at your in your workplace? Let's see. Joy, needing direction from the universe, time to move where I landed after the eye injury. Oh, you had an eye injury? Bought the van too. Small to live in. What do I do? Where do I go? Work, visit friends, family, rent. First off, I want to commend you on buying a van. And th before I came to Thailand, I had another plan. I had already bought a camper van. It was smaller than, a Winnebago, but bigger than a regular van. And it's pretty cool. And I bought it with the idea of touring around the country and visiting all the national parks and things like that. Oh, that was Sima. I don't know why I thought I heard Stacy. Okay, well, it doesn't matter who it was. I know Stacy's doing that. Sima, and Sima's the White Witch who makes the soaps. If I'm right, isn't that right, Sima? Did I get that right? So Sima, yeah. And by the way, Sima, can you post a link to how people can buy your soaps if they want healing soaps from you? To sign today had address of 777. Oh yeah, cool. Okay, sorry for the mix up on names, but the reading still holds. Just apply it to sign.
I
Where
knew it
was
started
I?
with an F, so I'm not any better.
Sheree, where was I? What was I doing just now? I forgot.
Oh, good heavens. Um,
Help me out, guys.
oh,
I got.
yeah, it was about you. It was Joy King, where she had the eye injury
Oh,
and
Joy.
she's
Right, right. It's
having,
right there in my face. Joy. Joy, I'm so sorry to hear about your eye injury. And yeah, like I said, okay, I'm reading the chat there. Okay, so Joy, you got the van, and you want to know, what do I do? Where do I go? Work, visit friends or and family, rent. Work if you have to, but if you don't have to, don't. Right? I mean, I know you're about my age. You must be ready for retirement too. Okay, so I'm just gonna look all around this. I'm gonna look at your van and like where you should go from here. Hi, Nancy. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the Intuitives family. I'm a little busy, Nancy, to do a spread for you right now. Um, but if you join my members, then you have when I have a moment where I'm not doing anything, I'll go to my members and do them. That's okay. Serena, not Simon. Okay, I'm getting my names mixed up. So Serena is the White Witch who makes the soaps. Simon Malik. Simon, your name's really familiar to me too. I know I had a reading with you before. Ah, Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for being there. Yeah, but don't
Okay.
worry. Scott's mixing everybody up. Yeah, but don't worry. The cards know who you are, so that's all that matters. Colleen doesn't have a join button. Colleen, I thought you joined already, Colleen. No? Hmm. Colleen doesn't have a join button. I wonder what's up with that.
Okay,
Maybe check your.
You were doing Joy's question.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked a little bit. Want to catch up on the. So yeah, back to Joy. Once again, like I said, I'm gonna look at the van and where do you go? What do you do? Look at those things again. You said work, family, friends, rent. Rent. I think by rent you mean ditching the van and getting a brick and mortar place. All right. So, I mean, you got the van. If you got the time and you got the money, get out and see the country. That's what I would do, especially before all hell breaks loose. Okay, judgment. Okay, there's the van, the chariot. The chariot represents the van. King of Swords in the past. High Priestess in the center.
Hmm.
That's the Seven of Pentacles. This is the timing. This is November, end of November time. Could be, and it also could be. Hold on a second. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Oh, the sun. All right. If you have any money saved up, then take that van and travel around at least until around the beginning of fall. And at that time, then maybe you'll go on to maybe you'll settle down or stop, or maybe you begin at that time, but has something to do with fall. That election date coming up, something big is going to happen. I think, you know, um, it looks like they're getting set up to. I got to be careful with live YouTube to fiddle with things during that selection time that's going to happen. I mean, you can already see them setting it up, making Kamala seem like the greatest thing since Christ. Um,
Yeah.
so I think number one, by the way, Joy, And I tell this to everybody. This is your intuition is being suppressed. Follow your intuition. That little voice speaking to you, you know what it's telling you to do. You know that feeling. Get in that van and go to the beautiful places that are still on, you're still able to go to right now before all hell breaks loose. All right. Now I know once we get through this, everything's going to be fine, but we're going to go through some difficult times, I think. Right now, everything's quiet enough where you can travel around. Maybe maybe there's going to be some kind of lockdown, martial law. You can't be traveling around and seeing this beautiful world that we live in. Because there's still a lot of beauty in this world to see. Everybody likes to talk about, how messed up the world is with pollution and things like that, but there's still plenty of beautiful, pristine places out there to see. Um,
Most definitely.
so you've got the van. I think this card says you've got some money saved up. Don't worry about holding on to that money for your retirement or old age. That's going to be taken care of. Okay. If you've got some money saved up, go out and spend it now and enjoy do it. Use it with that van. And yeah, see the countryside. This guy lives out in the countryside. He's not in the city. He's out in the farms and in the villages. And he's watching nature grow. This is harvest time, you know. So get out there and see that beautiful country. By the way, real quick, I want to talk about this epiphany that I had the other day, Cherie, that I called you about.
Yep.
Hold on a second.
I think it's great.
Okay, so I'm
I'll
going
be
to take a
right back
minute
while
to talk.
you're talking.
Yeah, I'm going to take a minute to talk about myself real quick because, as many of you know, I've really gotten serious now about saving money to get home after 20 years. I've been away for 20 years, and I feel this calling to go home to America. I'm in Thailand for those of you who don't know. I've been here for 20 years. Last year, my mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer. She's doing great, by the way. I talked to her last night. She looked fantastic. She feels great. Her cancer markers are remarkably low. The doctors are actually really surprised at how well she's responded to her treatment. Um, it doesn't change the fact, though, that it's inoperable and she's on borrowed time. So I'm on a mission to get home in time to see my mom before she takes that last journey in this body. And and I reckoned I needed about $5,000 for the plane round trip ticket because I got to come home. But this is where I live. This is my home. Um, I can't believe how expensive hotels and stuff are now. I was just looking at that, Cherie, and you were talking about that to me recently.
Oh yeah, ridiculous.
And food, and I hear you guys. I hear it in the news all the time about how groceries have gone up like 70% in the past 2 years, and so I'm thinking, oh man, I'm gonna need about $5,000 to do this trip. And how long would it take me, even if I like cut out all all my favorite things that I spend my money on and just save all my money? How long would it take me to come up with $5,000? Because time's an issue with my mom's health. Then it hit me like, how do you say it? A brick
Yep, a brick on the head.
from the universe or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I woke up in the morning the other day, and it's like this idea just came out of nowhere, and it was so obvious. I don't need the whole $5,000 before I come. So this is my plan: fly to LA, and I've been thinking about this, Cherie. I want to fly to LA, and then from LA, I want to go by ground, by bus, because I've seen the entire East Coast of America. from Maine to Florida, all over Florida, from the Mississippi to the Atlantic. I've been all over, well, except for like Illinois and Michigan and that area. But I've seen huge parts of the United States. I have not seen the West. So I'm thinking I'll fly to LA and uh, and do stops and do appearances and do personal readings for people. Um, I'm thinking I'll charge like $150 for an hour and a half for an in-person reading for me. And if I could do over a 3 day period, if I could do if I could get fully booked, which would be 4 readings in a 3 day period, I want one day to be able to travel around and see the sites. So each stop would be 3 days. 2 days doing readings. Not exactly sure about how many people or what to charge, but something like that. What did we figure? If I could get, it'd be like $1,200 if I could get 4. Anyways, you do the math. And then kind of skip around. Then from LA, take a bus to Sedona. I looked at it, it's only 6 hours. I thought it was really far. It's only 6 hours from Los Angeles to Sedona, Arizona.
Beautiful area.
And then and then from Sedona, it's only like an hour to the Grand Canyon. And I have this thing with the Grand Canyon because when I was 15 years old, my aunt and uncle and my cousins, they had this really cool school bus that had been converted into a camper. And we used to travel all over. We used to go to North Carolina like 2 or 3 times a year. And I just loved that thing. And I loved my cousins. And they were going to the Grand Canyon when I was 15. And I was invited to go with them. I was so excited for this trip. The day before they left, my mother found a dime bag of marijuana in my room.
Oh no.
Actually, it was my sister. My sister who found it. I had it hidden in a snake cage, and I'd gotten rid of the snakes a while ago, so the snakes were no longer a deterrent. And I had it shoved in a Pringles can in the snake cage. I don't know why my little sister went in my snake cage to look inside that Pringles can, but she found my dime bag of marijuana and she said, "Mom, what's this?" She was like 7. So because of that,
Dear.
my mom said, "You're not going to the Grand Canyon." My aunt and uncle and cousins pulled up in that camper to try to talk my mom into going, and she wouldn't let me go, and I'm still angry about it. That's one of those things I still haven't been able to quite let go because I've never seen the Grand Canyon. That was my chance to see the Grand Canyon. So maybe this will help me
Honest.
get over that childhood trauma that I had. So LA to Sedona. Sedona, I can go visit the Grand Canyon. And then from
Grand
there, I don't know. I
Canyon.
was thinking about going up to Denver because Frank lives in Colorado, Honey's in Colorado. Maybe see them. And then from there, flying over to like somewhere in the middle of the country. I haven't decided. I thought St. Louis because it's right in the middle. Do an appearance there, and then Atlanta, and then down to Georgia. I mean, I'm sorry, Atlanta, then down to Orlando, which is right next to my hometown, Melbourne. And then also there's a series of psychic fairs going on in Florida that I could attend and I could make money there. Somebody told me they made $1,700 in one weekend at a psychic fair. Um, so I don't need the whole $5,000. I just need enough for the plane ticket and to pay for the first couple of weeks that I'm going to be there. And then I can make money as I go. So that's my idea. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's a great idea. Like I said, I would see about meeting up with you somewhere and seeing you face to face and doing a reading face to face.
Hmm.
And Elisa says, Scott, come to South Carolina.
Well, see, I won't be able to visit everywhere, right? But Atlanta, if I'm in Atlanta, Elisa, you could pop over there to visit me because I'm not gonna have a lot of time, you know. I'm thinking 1 month. That's about the longest I would feel comfortable leaving my pets in the hands of my partner because she's not a very good animal person. Oh, this is
Yeah,
interesting.
everybody's celebrating.
Betty has a memory of being in Mount Rushmore, but her parents told me I was never there as a kid. So there's these timelines that are splitting, and that's probably one of them. It's like the Mandela effect. So if you remember it and they don't, you shifted timelines at some point, Betty. Yeah, Atlantis, Elisa. That would be awesome. And so the way I'm thinking is like 2 days doing the readings, and then one day maybe just have like a get together, dinner at a restaurant where everybody can show up and we can all hang out and just get to know each other, something like that. So I'm thinking I want to do this. So February 4th, this coming February 4th, will conclude 20 years since I've been in Thailand.
Well, that's a long time, Scott.
Huh? Yeah.
That's a long time.
And it just blew by. This 20 years. It just, I mean, it went by so fast. I want to read what Stacy found here. The join button currently does not appear on most enabled channels in iOS inside of the YouTube app. Try joining from another non-iOS device or opening the page in a web browser. Thank you, Stacy, for giving us that information.
Yes, that's great.
Oh, Serena had a dream that I was coming to the States. Wow, that's really cool. Adrian, Thailand is changing. It's not what it was 20 years ago. I mean, I'm still happy here, but it's not what it was 20 years ago, sadly. In fact, if there are people who are watching this now thinking, "Oh, I want to go be an expat, retire in Thailand," I wouldn't do it. Um, if you're not already here, now is not the time to come here. In fact, there's probably going to be another military takeover of the government soon. There've been two since I've been here, and right now, I mean, it's not good.
Give it a year or two, it'll be better.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
Let's
I
see.
want to come visit you.
Huh? What's that, Sheree?
And then I'll come visit you.
Okay, yeah, yeah, well, yep. Come to visit, and anyways,
Get
I'm
you and
just
your wife and show me around.
all right. So I want to open the chat. Any questions you want to put in the chat? Who was
Yeah,
that one?
Carolyn
What
had
was that?
a question. Carolyn
Okay,
had a question. Is
hold on.
Janet's
Before
house the
that,
right house?
hold on. Before that, I want to back up. I said if I had time, I would. Who's the one who just subscribed who asked a question?
Was
I
that
want to make. I
Elizabeth
want to
or Nancy?
Nancy. May I please get a general reading for the week ahead? I want to do since you just joined the family, Nancy. I want to welcome you with a general spread, and then you keep that other one queued up for me, Cherie, and I'll get to that after this.
Okay.
Nancy Bagel. I love bagels. So that's why I read it as bagel. Okay. All right, so Nancy, this is for your week ahead. I'm going to do a 4 card spread to make it short and sweet. Okay, Nancy, up ahead. Four of Cups, boredom and resting, taking a break from life. Nine of Cups. There's something that you're trying to manifest. What is that? Maybe a move, making some sort of move, and then the outcome is okay. But this is for the week. Uh, take take some time out this week to focus on yourself. Um, if you're a meditator, then put some extra, give some extra time to your meditation. If you're not a meditator, then learn more about how to meditate and practice that. That's something you need to do. You need to be introspective right now, and that will help you to manifest your heart's desire. I recommend the YouTube channel New Earth Teachings with Brad Johnson, his uh, Divine Light Fills Me meditation. Divine light fills me. You say that 3 times breathing in, and then you hold it one time. You say, Divine light fills me. And then you blow it out, saying, Divine light fills me. And then you pause again. You say, Divine light fills me. And then again, 2 times in, Divine light fills me. Divine light fills me. Hold. Divine light fills me. And then out. Divine light fills me. Divine light fills me. And then hold. Divine light fills me. And then repeat. I found this to be the best way to meditate. I was doing it this morning, and it really got me ready for today's show. So check out Brad Johnson. I like him. He's a bit intense. He's very serious. I've never seen him laugh or joke or even smile much.
Hmm.
Brad's in Sandy Nightingale's neck of the woods. Yeah, Brad is next level. Um, but like I said, he's a little bit intense. He's very serious. He takes. I don't like to be so serious. I like to be able to joke around. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. I felt really good about today. It was fun. I felt relaxed, even though I was kind of scattered all over the place and we had a few hiccups there. Thank you,
Just like
Cherie.
you.
You really helped out a lot, you know?
Very welcome. And thank you, everybody, for being here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for the stickers and the super chats. Oh, Elisa got the hippo spinning in the chair sticker. Thank you for that. And Elisa, when I asked one of our shows, I said, "Hey, if you want a reading from Elisa, email her." Somebody said, "Oh, I tried emailing her. I didn't get a response." Elisa's been taking a break to take care of her son. So if I don't know if she's still on hiatus. So if you're trying to get a reading from Elisa, wait till she's ready for you. Okay? Just I wanted to make that announcement on her behalf.
I'll be
Susanna,
very patient.
over there in Australia, thanks for being here. It's it's really early there, Susanna, right? You're in Queensland, I think, if I got that right. Okay. Good night, everybody. Cherie, hang in there for a minute. Let's have a little chat after the show.
Sure. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Goodbye. Thank you. See you next time.